The following is a video presentation of a morning worship service at Orrville Baptist Church.
Serious thing that happens in the church. It's an important call, and so August 4th, going to elect 2 new deacons. Be in prayer for that as you prepare for who you feel and what God is leading you to nominate and vote for. We have the names of those who are currently serving, and those who are rotating off, those who are not available to be voted on. A reminder on the front of the bulletin: you can use those green envelopes in the pews. We're not taking a break from the renovation fund. That's been there's been a break in it. We've been doing a lot of projects around the church, and we're going to continue to try to do upgrades and maintenance, and then we've had some repairs. So just continue to pray and see how you might really give to the renovation fund as we want to continue to make this place look good and be proud of our property that God has given to us. So just continue to pray and consider how you can give to that each week. Also, if you're interested in helping, many of you already serve and help with cleaning around the church, and you signed up to help a deacon with cleaning responsibilities. And if you would like to, and you are currently not, and you're able, there's a sign-up sheet in the very back. Now, I'm going to ask you, lastly, to get a pen. So get a pen ready. It didn't make it on the back of our bulletin, and this just happened last Sunday. We just planned it. It's kind of getting towards the end of the summer. Coming to a close. We've done it the past 2 years, and we'll make sure we do it again. We're going to have a time of fellowship after the service next Sunday. I know it's a little bit last second. We just want to have a good time together, and we're going to have hot dogs. We'll probably have some watermelon. We're going to have an ice cream kind of Sunday bar. We've done that the past 2 years, and all kinds of toppings and that sort of thing. We'll hope that you'll join us and just have a good time together and enjoy a good lunch together. If you want to bring something, really the only thing you need to bring is if you got 2 liters that you like, or people usually like water and sweet tea, but if you got some Diet Coke or something that you specifically want, bring that, or some there's special kind of chips you like, you might want to bring a bag of chips, but really that's about it. We'll take care of watermelon and hot dogs and all that sort of stuff, and we'll have a good time. So I just want to encourage you to join us for that. We'll have a good day together and just a good lunch together. And I put in the the highlight, the newsletter last week. This is a focus that we want to get back to. We thought we had a little bit of a break with all this been going on and just being extra busy. We've lost sight of our time together. And so one thing we want to make an extra focus on is spending special, valuable time together as a church. And when we get made fun of, all Baptist do is want to eat. Well, I like eating. And I like eating together with my family. So I know that you do too. And we want to make sure that that's the point of emphasis within our church. So look forward to more and more opportunities for the church to be doing that. And we'll do that again next Sunday after the service. So invite friends next week and look forward to having a good time together. Let's go to the Lord in a moment of prayer.
Consider all the world's thy hands have made.
year of 1983, 2 years before I was born. Date myself a little bit. There was an article published in Newsweek. I don't read Newsweek, but I found it for the sake of this illustration. And they were poking fun a little bit at the national census that is taken in this country, and there's a lot of different reasons for that census. Some people are paranoid by it, call it Big Brother looking over you. There's probably a little bit of truth to that, unfortunately. But at its core, it's essentially compiling some data about you, and one of the things about you, and what makes you, you. One of the things about you, and what makes you who you are, and your identity, that sort of thing. The article that I'm referencing was making fun of this because the census, originally was just, are you alive and are you dead, and want to know if you're still around, and then it turned into basically a profile, and it just was more and more information they wanted to know about you. And so in '83, this is what Newsweek wrote, and it's meant in all the good fun. They were not being angry about it, but they were having more fun with it. And here's what they wrote as their mock census. Give your name and business. Is your spouse working? Do you rent or own your housing? Have you ever milked a cow? Remember, this is strictly confidential, so are you underweight or fat? Does your spouse have a bunion? Are the arches in your feet good or are they flat? Who did you vote for? Are you dry or wet? Have you ever used tobacco? Have you ever placed a bet? Are you saving money? Are you in debt? And are your red flannels clean or need to be washed? And that was their version of saying, this is pointless, this is stupid, none of these questions mean anything. And they were just having fun with it, and they were not trying to make a big point with it. They were just basically saying, none of these questions that you ask us mean anything. In the census, I'm not telling you who I am with the questions that you're getting. You're getting some information about me, but in terms of who I am, it's really not who I am. It's just stuff. It's just things. And that's interesting to me when it comes to the theme of identity. And what is your identity? The government wants to know who you are, but those types of questions are not going to define who you are. Does it make you who you are? It's just stuff about you. I can say at the end of my life, I passed, and that can be in 30 minutes or in 30 years, or I don't think I'll be around in 300 years, but who knows, and it's some kind of advance in medicine. But at some point, I know something is going to happen, and that's I'm going to die. And I'm going to have a funeral. And at that funeral, some people are going to get up, and they're going to say, hopefully some nice things. There might be a few comments, but hopefully it'll be mostly nice stuff. But what I don't want, what I would probably feel bad about, is if somebody got up and said, well, he was tall. Well, he was bald. And he wasn't much of a looker. So have a good day. And that's all they said. That's just stuff about it. That doesn't tell anybody who I was. I would hope that they would at least be able to say, and I'd give them evidence to say that I was a follower of Christ. I pray that would be evident and fruitful in my life, and people would know that about me. That's what my identity is, to be wrapped up in Christ. And so this morning, I want us to be reminded of this. I want us to be reminded of our identity, and I want to go to one of my favorite places where we see this reminder, which is a very strange place. And you might get there and you might say, I know this letter, and this is an odd place. Some of our Wednesday crowd, if you're thankful to come on Wednesdays, you might remember us walking through this very, very short letter. It's a letter that warns against false teaching, and it is a letter that is primarily known as that warning against false teaching, and it is the letter of Jude. And so if you'd like to join me there, I would greatly appreciate it. It's that quick little letter. You can read it in 1 minute, 2 minutes, tops, right before you get to Revelation. Before you get to those warnings against false teachers, before you get to those warnings, before you get to that meat of the subject, you have this incredible, and I mean incredible, introduction. It is an absolutely astonishing introduction, and it is my honor this morning to remind you of the identity of the Christian based on Jude 1. I'd like to start there, and I really want to end there. We're not going to get into all the major themes of Jude. I want to take this time for us to be a people to see what Jude has to say about those who follow Christ. I'm going to start in verse 1, really the first portion of Jude 1. And here's what we read. I'll basically chop it in half. Jude, a bondservant of Jesus Christ and brother of James. So we know off the bat the author is Jude, of course. There's a fair amount of discussion over which Jude. And I'm not going to spend all morning talking about this, but I do agree with most commentators. This is the brother of James, obviously, and he's also the brother of Jesus. I do not believe that this is the same Jude that we see as an apostle in Luke and in Acts. This is not Judas, not that Judas. This is a different Jude. And, there's all kinds of different reasons for why we do that. I'm not going to spend all that time this morning. I think he would have most likely said an apostle if he were the apostle. And so what's fascinating to me in light of this, and if we agree, and you're going to believe my opinion, that this is the brother of Jesus, he does not introduce himself as that. He says, Jude, a bondservant of Jesus. And I find that incredibly fitting, and I find that incredibly poignant. And so you have the brother of Christ, and it's the same man who would not have recognized Jesus for who he really was, but had rejected him as Messiah at one point. And instead of blatantly taking that title, well, I'm special, I'm the brother of Jesus. Now look at me, I'm writing this letter to you. Didn't do any of that. And his first and foremost piece of identity is not brother, it is bondservant. That's the important thing for Jude. That's how he sees himself. It'd been easy to say, see that guy, Jesus, I'm related. Build yourself up in that way. Well, he didn't want to. He was a bondservant. He was a slave to Jesus. I think that's special. I think that's important for us to recognize as well. The most important thing Jude wanted to say about himself in his introduction, in writing to an audience, mostly Jews and probably Gentiles in there as well, the first thing he wants them to be known is he's a slave to Jesus. He didn't want to take advantage of being related to him, nothing like that. So we don't get a clear message of who he's writing to. We don't get, the Paul's type letters where it's pretty clear he's writing to Rome, he's writing to Corinth. We don't have any of that. But most likely time and dating and all that kind of thing, we understand it's probably a Jewish audience, mostly a Jewish audience with Gentiles mixed in. Most important thing, he's writing to people who are Christian. He's writing to the church. And so while this letter did go to a specific people at a specific time, the book of Jude is, of course, like all of the scriptures, is a book for all Christians. It is a book for the church today. It is a book for all followers of Jesus, past, present, and future. So that's what I want to address this morning, is you. To address you as followers of Christ. I want this to be a time where you recall your identity, where you are reminded of who you are. I want you to be reminded of what that means. It's easy for us to think of ourselves as Christians and all the things that come with being a Christian. Well, I'm a good person. I don't cuss, or I don't do that. I don't want to be known for those outlier things. What's our actual identity? What does it mean about you specifically and what God has done for you? What does that mean in terms of your life and in terms of how you are looked at? It's one thing for the world to look at you and for us to look at one another. How does God view you? How does God view us as His people? I think this is a very humbling and very difficult truth to get through as we open up Jude 1. The first thing you see is the introduction and Jude recognizing himself, or acknowledging himself, and then you get to this, the second portion of verse 1. To those who are the called, beloved in God the Father, and kept for Jesus Christ. We go through introductions in these letters so fast. We're very fast and very quick to go through Paul's letters. You open up Romans, you open up 1st and 2nd Corinthians, you want to get to the good stuff. And this is the good stuff. It starts with verse 1. The good stuff begins there. And Jude 1 it might be my favorite of all the introductions in the letters. It's just unbelievable. It's so fast. And there's so much in those three little realms. To those who are the called, beloved in God the Father, and kept for Jesus Christ. And so we'll spend a few minutes just going through each of those. And first and foremost, to those who are the called. This morning, right now, every single one of us acknowledges that without God's first call to us, we would not respond to Him. It is His first reaching to us. It is because of His love. It is His first love given to us. It is His act first in which we respond with love. Because of His love, we are able to love. And one of the most significant and important verses on this call, we talk a lot about the call. We call to ministry. We think it's just pastors and elders, ministers who are called. You are called. Every single person in here, if you are saved, you've been called. I've been called in a separate way. We might not receive the same call in terms of occupation, but in terms of our walk, we are all called. Romans 8:30, if you'd like to make a note there, is where I want to go for just a moment. Here's what we read in Romans chapter 8, verse 30. And these whom He predestined, He also called. And these whom He called, He also justified. And these whom He justified, He also glorified. What a magnificent, astonishing text. You can read that for hours and still be pondering it. And it is through this call that we are effectively brought to salvation by grace through faith. And I've said it many times, we read Romans 8:30, and we read verses like that, and we get wrapped up, and we get sidetracked, and we get busy with that word predestined. Sometimes we fight over it, sometimes we get angry with each other over that word. We focus so much on it to an unhealthy degree that we're missing what God is telling us in the rest of the verse. So first and foremost, yes, the word predestination is in the Bible. It's a word that we can't ignore. I've had people ask me all the time, do you believe in predestination? I'm like, more than believe it, it's right there. I can't ignore it. The thing is, it's true for you too. You cannot ignore it. Now we can argue on all that stuff. We can argue on how does it work. We have different views on it, all those things, that's fine. But to say it doesn't exist, that denies the Scriptures. It's right here in the book of Romans. So the Word itself is there. The doctrine itself is there. And we can have some slight disagreements on what's happening there. I'm happy to talk about it, more than happy. I love talking theology and doctrine. Something you want to discuss? I promise you, I will not sit down and we can disagree and do so with love, do so with admiration. No problem for me. A.W. Tozer, one of my favorites. I love the guy. He's passed, and his writing it means an immense amount to me, my life and my walk. He has a good quote that I think sometimes gets taken the wrong way, but I like to share it really fast when it comes to this idea. He says, God will not hold us responsible to understand the mysteries of election, predestination, and divine sovereignty. The best and safest way to deal with these truths is to raise our eyes to God in deepest reverence and say, O Lord, Thou knowest. Those things belong to the deep and mysterious profound of God's omniscience. Prying into them may make us theologians, but it will never make us saints. To a degree, I absolutely agree. I don't want to use that quote and say we shouldn't think on these things, because it's one extreme to say, well, if it doesn't matter, let's just be lazy theologians. No. Of course we don't want to do that, but it doesn't mean we should ignore it. But at the same time, we don't need to be so obtuse about it that we can't get along, that we can't have conversation. And so we need to be people with different views, and ultimately we need to understand one thing and have common ground with that, and it's that God's in control. God's in control. And He knows what He's doing. He's good at being God. I like saying that a lot. God is really good at being Himself. He's good at handling sovereignty. It's His nature. It's who He is. He's good at this whole calling thing. And so I put it in His hands, and I recognize my limitations, and I encourage us to all do the same thing. And so before time itself, before time was even introduced and created by God Himself, I want you to understand something, and that's the fact that God knew you. You were known. You were known. God in eternity knew you. He predestined you. He called you. He justified you. He knew the wickedness in my heart. He knew the wickedness in your heart. He knew the rebellion in our lives. He knew the betrayal in our minds. And despite all of it, He not only created us, but reached out to us in a very special way. He reached out to people who were content with sin, content with death, content with destruction, and saved us through the sending of His Son. All-powerful, omniscient God, who knows all things, knew you before the creation of the world, went through His plan, knowing everything about you and everything about me. You might be wondering, what does it have to do with our identity? That's where our identity starts. The fact that I'm a rebel. I'm a sinner. And yet He still went through with His plan. And here's the other side of this. It's always been the plan. I don't ever want to make salvation, especially when we're talking about salvation, God's salvation, through Christ Jesus. It was not a plan. It's not a plan. It's the plan. It is His plan. And it was never a backup. And here's the other thing. The cross is not a backup at all. It has always been the plan and mind of God. And so even in the midst of our sinful ways, God the Father has made us right. He's reconciled us. And He's done so through God the Son. And even after all that we've said, it was not enough. Paul goes on to say that those whom He justified, He also glorified. As we enter into that day, Paul writes as if it's already done, but it's not quite happened yet. We're still alive on this earth. But as we enter into that day in which we are glorified, when our final days have come, we experience glorification. So our bodies don't go to decay, our bodies don't go to suffering, they don't go to pain. All takes place in the future, and yet Paul writes says it has already happened because it's the promise of God. And He's good on His promises. It's just a marvelous thing to understand and acknowledge and know. Even if we haven't experienced it yet, it's settled in heaven eternally. It's already done. We'll come back to this a little bit later as we finish up. I think the world may hear all that I'm saying right now. The world outside of these walls and those who are lost, they might hear all this and think, well, that's good. It sounds nice. That's it. And rightfully so. They're lost. But as a Christian, my first thought is, why? Why me? And why me? That's where I'm going to start with our identity. Why me? It's this call that we're talking about. Those who are the call to follow Christ. Why me? You go to a lot of churches. You can hear a lot of self-esteem sermons. There's always been something in you that God saw as special. You got this power lying dormant in you, that sort of thing. That might make you feel good for Sunday, but I love you too much to lie to you. I don't want you to feel like there's always been this thing inside you, and you're just living out to your potential. I want you to know the truth. The good news is I share that truth with you. I'm rotten. I'm wicked in my natural state. There's nothing good in me left alone. If you're hearing that and you're saying, that's me too, don't make me feel bad, Pastor. This is what I want you to understand. And yet you're still called. A lot of places are going to tell you you've always had something, so you'll feel good. You'll feel good for a Sunday. You'll get your battery drained. You'll come back next Sunday to get recharged again. I want you to know the truth. We're rotten, nasty, wicked, vile. There's no good in us. That's what makes the call even more special. Because my question to God is why? Why me? Why? It gives us thankful hearts to know this. What other response do we have other than thankfulness? If you're hearing this and saying, well, now I just feel bad, I'm telling you, you should be encouraged. Because it showcases the grace and mercy of our God. It's not intended for us to feel bad, it's the opposite. It's for us to be thankful. Knowing what I know about myself and my identity, and yet He called me is a marvelous thing. And he still called you. That is a marvelous thing. And so our proper response is, thank you. I don't know why. I'll never understand why. But all I know is that all I have is you. Lord, thank you. That's the proper response. Not look at me. Well, look at me too, God. I'm pretty special. That's not our response. Our response is thank you. And that response is meant to be lived out the remainder of our life. Secondly, be loved in God the Father. We've clearly seen that God has love for his people. It is a term we know it all too well. We've been raised in understanding and learning about agape love. It's beloved has that same root. It is to be fond of. It is to be deep, meaningful, to love dearly, to be well pleased. It's that idea of love for his children. This is an intimate relationship between God and his people, between God and you, sitting in this pew right at this very moment. It's the love that far exceeds anything we can understand. And you ask that question of why me? I don't know specifics on why, but I know it's because of love. That's one thing I do know. Because he loves you, he's called you. Why? I don't know. Me? I don't know. But he does. It's easy to love things that benefit us. It's easy to love things that make us feel good, to make us happy. And I think about his love compared to the way that we love. When I can offer him nothing in my natural state, when I can offer him nothing in my natural fallen state, and he calls me, and he calls you, and he calls him Aaron, the sending of his son. And that's a love we'll never understand. It's love that will never make sense to us. You don't have to be married to get a picture of this love. And I've used examples similar to this before. One portrait of that, and it's just that, as a portrait is just the idea of marriage. I recognize and I realize I am probably not easy to live with. I'm probably not easy to love. I'm annoying. I'm an annoying man. I'm willing to say it. You spend more than 5 minutes with me, I'm probably going to start getting on your nerves a little bit. And yet, Katie loves me. Why? I do not know. Why she agreed to date me, I do not know. Why she agreed to say yes when I proposed her, I do not know. Why she showed up to the ceremony, I do not know. But I know that she did. That's what I know. She did. And she shows unconditional love. And yet, that is nothing, absolutely nothing, when compared to the love of God. It's incomparable. It's nothing it's not like anything we know. It's not like anything we can even dream of. I'll bring up Tozer once again in his book, The Attributes of God. Tozer asked the following question. This is why I love Tozer so much. If you take things to an extreme, you might start picking them apart a little bit, but he just has a way of making everything relatable to us. And he asked this wonderful question. Did you ever stop to think that God is going to be as pleased to have you with him in heaven as you are to be there? And it's just, I can't stop going back to why, God. But why? Why are you going to be pleased to have me? Why does it please you now? Why? Knowing everything about me. And once again, I find myself coming back to the idea of thankfulness to be called and thankfulness to be loved by God the Father. What on earth we did to deserve this, we did. And yet he still does it. It's astounding. It is by his good pleasure. It is by his mercy. By his good pleasure alone that he does this. And for a life of me, I'll never understand it. And we're not called to. We're simply people who follow the Son with thankful hearts. Lastly, from Jude 1 is an astounding ending to verse, and kept for Jesus Christ. There's the final element of this introduction. The first half is an introduction of just Jude acknowledging himself. And in this half, 15 words, it ends with, and kept for Jesus Christ. Every so often you might be asked, or you might ask someone, or you might be talking about the idea, how do I know that I'm saved? How is it that I know that I'm saved? I don't feel very saved. I don't feel very good. So how do I know that I'm saved? I always kind of want to go to Jude 1 and say, the Bible says so. It's good enough for me, for Christians. When the loss comes to you, you might even have an honest conversation and say, I'm not sure you are saved. No fruit, no nothing. But sometimes these children struggle. Sometimes we struggle. Sometimes we listen to the enemy. The enemy wants you to doubt your salvation. We have seasons in which we think on these things. If you're a child of God and you come to those seasons, you have those days, I invite you to turn to Jude 1. How do you know that you're saved? Because the Bible says so. You're kept. You're kept. It's a quick verse. But that keeping is not temporary. It's done. You're called, you're loved, and you're kept. The horror and the danger are for those who think that they are children of God. With zero fruit. False teachers, those who wish to do harm to the church. God's children have no worry in these things. God's children have no worry on how secure their salvation is. It's kept. It's done. God says so. That's good enough for me. At the very beginning of the book of Genesis, God called out Adam and Eve after they sinned. Where are you? Not because he didn't know. He was asking them to show themselves. Where are you? Who's the one who called? Who's the one who reached out? Who's the one who asked the question? Who's the one who sought Adam? Who's the one who sought Eve? It was God. We're left alone to do the same thing as Adam and Eve. Try to hide, try to fashion things that are silly. Try to hide our shame. And instead, he's the one who called out and he covered their shame and he kept them. Continuing through Scripture, you find the world was covered with open rebellion against him, and God did something really special. He promised to do again in front of the world. And he preserved Noah, and he preserved Noah's family. He saw them as blameless, not because of what they did, but because of his mercy and his grace, and he wiped the face of the earth, and yet God kept his people. Noah then would go on to have a son named Shem. From that family tree, we get Abraham. Abraham is told to sacrifice his son, Isaac, and yet God provided the sacrifice. That promised line that we see in Scripture looks like it may be coming to an end. And it is God the Father who provides the sacrifice. And God keeps his promise, and God kept his people. God's people would then go on to wander through the desert. They would often exercise open rebellion against him. They would get tired of him. They would blaspheme against him. And yet, time and time and time again, he would provide a way, and that line that was promised would continue to exist. The line of Abraham is preserved, and God kept his people. He kept them. A young man named David faced imminent death for himself and all those behind him at the hands of Goliath, and yet God won the battle. Eventually that man would become king, and despite his failures, despite his sin, he would remain a servant to God because of the Lord's calling on his life, and God would keep him. You see a running theme going on. That promise being kept. And it was through that promised line that runs through Abraham, that runs through David, that we get a Messiah who is born to us. We have a promised King of Kings given to us, a perfect Son of God, a spotless sacrifice, all that ever was, all that ever will be. It is kept for the glory of God. It is His. It belongs to Him. And so for all of you, including myself, for His children, those who are called, and all that are beloved in God the Father, and kept, listen, not in Jesus Christ, kept for Jesus Christ, understand what that means. You are the prize. This is what you need to know about your identity. You are His prize. It does not say you were kept simply by Jesus or in. I want to repeat that once more. Kept for Jesus Christ. And there will be a day in which we receive that glorification. Understand this. His people, His church, will be presented to Him. Presented to Him. The bride will be made spotless and presented for Him. Many songs and many books written on this subject. I think it's a fitting end to reflect on this thought. The church, you and I, are the reward for the suffering servant. We are the prize of the Lamb that was slain and raised to life. So I can encourage you to go home and read the rest of Jude. It will take you no more than a minute or two. You can say, wow, we get into a lot of talking about false teachers in Jude. Don't miss out on verse 1. It's a strange place to remember our identity. But this is for God's children. This is for who Jude is writing to, for his audience. It is for all those who come after. It is for all those who follow Jesus. You have times you want to know about your identity and how you are viewed. It's easy to beat ourselves up. I get it. I do the same thing. Take the time to also look at yourself from the perspective of God and understand those three things. You are called, you are beloved, and you are kept for Christ Jesus. A census that we might do in church would say silly things, right? That's one of the most important things you can remember about yourself. It is not to be said so with an air of arrogance, puff ourselves up, but a state of humility, which we live the remainder of our lives being thankful. To be called and to be beloved and to be kept for Christ Jesus should result in us being a people following Jesus, obedient, with fruit, and thankful hearts. That should be the result of this truth in knowing our identity. Let's close in prayer.